I'm just checking if you can see my screen.
Sure, sir.
You can see it?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Rishikesh, sir, can we go ahead?
Yeah, please, let's go ahead.
All right. Nitana, you may begin.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Just a minute. Is someone recording this session?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We are
sir.
recording this session.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, everyone joining us from different parts of the world. On behalf of Christ, deemed to be University Bangalore, the Office of Alumni Engagement, and the Middle East Alumni Chapter, it is my privilege and honor to warmly welcome each one of you to an enriching Yoga Day Wellness session hosted by the Office of Alumni Engagement. As we mark the International Yoga Week, we also mark this session as a wonderful opportunity to pause, breathe, reconnect, and reset with your inner self in mind. Whether you're a long-time practitioner or simply curious about mindful living, this session is designed for everyone so that we could enjoy reconnecting with our inner self. My name is Nituna Varghese, and I'm your MC for the evening. The Alumni Association continues to serve as a meaningful platform that brings together our accomplished alumni and the wider Christ community to exchange ideas, experiences, and insights that inspire students and fellow alumni across the globe. And today's session, we've titled it as Let's Pause and Breathe. And the session aims to build and believe that human excellence is impossible unless it is developed from the inside out, which also helps us to strengthen our mind before leading people, processes, or technologies, or be it as students or even professionals who are taking a break and also enjoying an enriching wellness session focused on achieving balance, inner space, inner peace, and also a healthier mind and body connection through mindful living and holistic well being practices. Before we proceed further, we'd like to acknowledge and express our sincere gratitude to the distinguished leaders and members whose vision, guidance, and support continues to strengthen the alumni community and make more initiatives such as these possible for us. We extend our deepest gratitude to Reverend Dr. Jose CC, the Vice Chancellor, for his visionary leadership and continued encouragement towards meaningful alumni engagement. We also express our sincere appreciation to Reverend Dr. Viju PD, Pro Vice Chancellor, and Reverend Father Varghese KJ, Chief Finance Officer of Christ, deemed to be University, for their constant support and encouragement. Our heartfelt thanks are to Dr. Reverend Father Josie P. George, Director, Alumni Chapter, Christ University, for his dedication to strengthening the Global Christ Alumni Network. We are especially grateful to Brigadier B.G. Jagdish Sir, Director of the Center of Placements, Career Guidance, and the Office of Alumni Engagement, whose leadership continues to provide a strong foundation for initiatives that connect alumni and students worldwide. We also like to place on record our special appreciation to Dr. Rishikesh B., Associate Director, for his valuable guidance and unwavering support. A special word of thanks to the mentor, Ms. Maria Monica, and the members of Middle East Chapter for their continued commitment to fostering meaningful alumni engagement. We also acknowledge the dedicated efforts of Ms. Ranju Matthew and Ms. Vinita Lalu, alumni coordinators whose meticulous planning and coordination have been instrumental in organizing this session. As we move forward with today's program, it's my honor to invite our esteemed facilitators from Raja Yoga Center, Dubai, Mr. Prakash Chiglani and Mr. Raviraj. Raja Yoga Center, Dubai is an institution that consists of individuals of all ages and backgrounds who study a knowledge that nurtures respect for the self and everyone and regularly practices and teaches Raja Yoga meditation that relaxes the mind and promotes healthy balance between our inner and outer worlds. Through numerous social service activities and partnerships, They promote spiritual understanding, leadership and integrity, and elevated actions towards a better world. To give a quick introduction about Mr. Prakash, who is also a resilient strategist and global leadership. For over 23 years, he has been instrumental in changing perspectives and developing the social, emotional, and spiritual well-being of individuals from diverse demographics and geographies. Believing in being the change, he has been practicing Raja Yoga meditation for his own inner peace, stability, and well-being. He has delivered programs on meditation and well-being to executives at Salesforce, McDermott, Bahrain Chamber of Commerce, Yokogawa, Weatherford, and several other institutions. Academically, Mr. Prakash is a university rank holder in commerce and finance with multiple specializations in marketing, human resources, and also made sure that he has had an equity versatile career, donning leadership roles in both functional and support departments, and then founding a successful learning and development consultancy firm. And he has to credit more 10,000 hours of executive development and has inspired the transformation of over 2,500 individuals across 15 countries. He is an NLP practitioner certified by AB NLP, an assessor certified by SHL and Thomas International, a professional certified coach with International Coaching Federation, holding dual certificates from Australia and America. By virtue of his experience and academic qualification, he facilitates leadership and management development coaching and training for mid to senior level managers in companies. Some of the companies where Mr. Prakash trains and coaches include BDO, Hilton Worldwide, Rotana, Emirates Flight Catering, L&T, Vedanta Group, Altair Group, Al Ghurair Group, etc. And also, he's been an adjunct professor at SP Jain School of Management and XLRA on topics such as leading teams, organizations, negotiation and conflict resolution, change management, managerial communication, and design thinking. He's also authored a book titled Negotiate or Stagnate. Well, we welcome you, sir, for this session. Our co-facilitator, Mr. Ravi Raj, is a finance professional. He's based in the UAE for the last 13 years, and his passion for sports, practicing meditation has been there with him since his childhood, and he loves to engage in events that add value to life. We welcome you both for today's session, sirs, and we're confident that your experiences and perspectives will inspire all of us to take a pause, breathe, and reset ourselves in our journey. Without further ado, I warmly welcome Mr. Prakash to deliver his session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nituna, for that lovely introduction. Very good evening or good afternoon to everybody. On behalf of Ravi Raj and me, we are glad to be here today to share this forum with you on behalf of the Raj Yoga Center here in Dubai. It's a very interesting world that we are living in, and I have a question that I would like to start with. Does life feel faster than ever before? Now, what are some of the signs of a world that could be very, very fast, or life that's very fast? Question you can ask yourself: are you constantly busy, but rarely still? Do you react more than you reflect? And is your mind always on? Which means it's very difficult to switch it off and to say, okay, now I just need to calm down. I need to just be relaxed and easy. Or is it constantly thinking? Because some of the things that I've been hearing from people today is very difficult to take care of my mind. I just react, and it's too late before I realize that I should have or should have not done that. And yes, well, the most catchy phrase could be, I'm very busy. I'd love to do that, but I'm too busy. I know this is important, but I'm too busy. So these are some of the things that we might have seen in ourselves. And if that's the case, then we should know that life definitely is feeling very fast for us, much faster than it was ever before. So the world is speeding up. We see there are notifications we're receiving every moment. Perhaps even as I speak to you, you're probably receiving a few notifications and may even be distracted because of that. Social media is trying to see how they can get every bit of our attention. in every fashion. And because the more attention they get of us, the more business they have. Artificial intelligence is there now to stay, and it's really doing an amazing job without any doubt. Constant connectivity is there. When we speak about the basic necessities of life, we have food, clothing, and Wi-Fi. Information overload, yes, we've got too much, and sometimes we have something we might call a paralysis of analysis that we might have because of all the information that is available to us. So what is all this speed doing to our minds? A question I'd like to ask you, and I want you to think about it. Whilst many of these things are important for us, they are supporting us. They're supposed to make things much better, much easier, much smoother for us. Nevertheless, we definitely are seeing some of the impacts that it's having on our minds. What are we noticing? What are some of the things that you have seen? What are the statistics that you have come across? Well, certainly, if you look at wellness, and if you look at the well-being of the mind, so one way you look at the physical space, right? At a physical level, if I was strong and if I was doing well, then I'm immune to a lot of diseases. I have a very strong way to fight them. I'm very active. I'm alert. I have a lot of energy inside me. I'm able to pick things up very easily. I'm able to move. I'm able to get a lot of things done because I have physical, wellness. What is a sign of mental wellness? Similarly, just as physical wellness, mental wellness means that you have a lot of energy, enthusiasm, you're raring to go. You look forward to every single day as it unfolds in front of you. But more than that, when we look at the diseases that can hit you at a physical level, what are some of those that might hit you, the diseases that might hit you at a mental level? Because when your mind is not at ease, that is a disease. So that can come up in terms of us not being able to experience peace or happiness. We don't have the experience of power inside or strength. And these are some of the ways when we see that there's mental fatigue. I can be very stressed. I can have a lot of anxiety, huge fear, lots of anger. All these things are things that show that there is a little bit of lack of wellness in the mind. And so we need to try and see how we can support the mind. And as the days have gone by, if we start looking at research, and a huge amount of research has actually come up from various, national and international schools of well-being, and they're speaking about how the mind is going more into the state of stress and anxiety with every single passing year. It's just going on increasing and it's not decreasing. So Daniel Kahneman, a very interesting, and I'm sure many of you have heard of him. He's won his Nobel Prize for his work with economics, and he's written a very beautiful book called Thinking Fast and Slow. And in that, he speaks about two modes of thinking, the fast thinking, the slow thinking. And he says there are two systems. There's fast thinking system 1, and system 2 is a slow thinking. And fast thinking is important for us because it's when I need to do automatic thinking. It's emotional. And it could be based on fear, anxiety, stress, whatever, but it's very reactive. Fast thinking is fast, but error prone, and it runs on autopilot. So you're not really thinking what you got to do. You're just doing those things. That's fast thinking. Slow thinking on the other side is more deliberate, effortful. It's rational and reflective. It's much slower, but more accurate. And it requires conscious attention. Now, when do we need slow thinking? In fact, for us, through the day, if we are working executives, we are making decisions, we are planning, we are strategizing, we are developing deep and important and meaningful relationships with people, we are leading teams. In that case, slow thinking is the go-to type of thinking. Nevertheless, if I'm not doing that deliberately, then I would usually fall in the fast thinking. So with that, I just wanted to say that this is what we have in our journey. We're going to try and see what is really happening in our lives and look at them in a little bit different way from what we normally would see them. Try and understand what wellness means. We will experience wellness over here, and we will also apply the pause and the meditate as we move forward. We want to make it an experiential session, and the only way you can do that is if you have everybody's cooperation, if you participate, and please feel free to participate. We are not here to judge anybody. We would not judge, but we will have fun together. And I would like to see how it's a two-way street, not just me speaking. And to do that, we're going to start with the first simple exercise. It's an activity. And that's how you want to introduce yourself to an object. And few of you, at least, if you can do this with me, it'll be fantastic. Look around you, pick an object, introduce yourself to that object, with the virtues or qualities of the project, of that object, and what does it reveal about you. And this has got a good learning with some of the things that we have that's coming up. So before I go there, let me just demonstrate that to you. I'll stop presenting. And so here's something that if you don't mind, I'll request that you turn your cameras on, because that's how we can do this exercise. And it's an important one. We would learn a lot. So can I request you turn your cameras on, please, for this one? You may always go back to turning it off after that if you feel, or you can stay with us with the cameras on. That would be something that would also be good. So, we really have an interaction, because otherwise we're just talking to certain names, and we at least do not have any personal connection. So as you all are trying to turn your cameras on, I'll tell you how this goes. So one of the things on my table is this watch. All right. So we'd like you to do the same. Just show us anything that's on your table, but it has to be a random object. It has to be a random object, something that you just pick up that's in front of you. And okay, Sushma has a pen. What do we have? Nituna has an hourglass. Very nice. Ravi has a. Okay, let's wait for the other to turn on the cameras and show us what you have. And if you really don't know, for some reason really cannot turn your cameras on, on the type, on the chat window, what is the something different we are speaking up? If you could just type it out also, that's a good idea. So I'll give you a moment. Do you want to type up? You want to go forward and do a nice, very meaningful. Looking for chats in case there are somebody who's there. Okay, so I have the watch, and I'm going to introduce myself with respect to some of the qualities of this watch, something positive about the watch. So here's a timepiece. It's a watch, and it's so oval in shape, circular. When I look at something circular like this, I think about integrity. Integrity is whole. Integrity is complete whole. And I look at myself as a person who has integrity, which means in terms of thinking, it's possible. I try to have whole, and there is alignment to those three aspects. So like this watch, I have that is circular. I have integrity to me, which is whole, because integrity comes from the word integer, which is whole. Okay, so let's see if Ravi, you want to go next with what?
Yeah, I have this mobile here in front of me. I just randomly picked. What comes to my mind is basically staying connected, relationships, no matter what is the message to the other person, or the other person wants to give you a message. It's very important that we stay connected. We stick to our roots, whether it's family, friends. So just staying connected.
Beautiful. Sushma, do you want to share with us what you showed us, and anything that's a quality of that item that is associated with you?
I have a pen. What comes to my mind immediately is honesty, writing, helping people with your honesty, with integrity. So that's what comes to my mind.
Beautiful, beautiful. Nituna?
I think the hourglass actually tells me how precious my time is, and to make sure that I'm making use of it as much as possible, and then helping others as much as possible. It could be also sometimes helping myself and my family. But I think it's something that's very important. Time is very valuable and precious, is what I feel, and this is a reminder for me on that.
All right, that's so beautiful. Time is precious, and for you, the reminder of that is, and therefore you value time.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, so you're able to hear me clearly, right? Is my voice coming clearly?
There's a little bit of disturbance, I believe so, and I think otherwise it's okay.
So what's the problem actually?
It was just breaking in between, but now it's okay.
You sure?
Yeah, there was a little bit of break in between. But now
Okay.
it's correct. Now it's
Now it's better. Now it's better.
Okay, so anytime if it's not going to be good, please let me know. Because I can these headphones off, I can speak without them.
Sure.
Okay. So with the simple, let's see what is
See, right now, there is a bit
Right
of
now, even there's a difference in your
Mhm. Okay, 1 second. Yes. Are you able to hear me now?
yes.
yes, sir. It's better.
Much better?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. So here we go. Let me share this window again, and there's something very simple. Let me know if you can see my screen, please. Are you able to see this?
Yes,
we
yes.
can see.
So this is just an icebreaker to introduce yourself to the object, and it's great to know how you look at things and look at yourself. What did we see here is different people will have different meanings for the same object. So I might look at the watch for me might be just circular and I might see it this way, but somebody might look at the value of time from the same watch that they might look at, and so on and so forth. So our experience is shaped not what happens to us, but by the meaning that we assign to what's happening to us. That's a very important takeaway. And I like to show this to you in a very simple way, very simplified way. This is a core principle in terms of how we respond to things. Event plus meaning equals response. The event is things that are happening around us, all right? And this is really the core of wellness to us. You have the events that are happening around us, but these events don't have life. What gives events life is the meaning that we add to
Mr.
that event.
Prakash, sorry
Yes,
to
please.
interject. Is your screen on slideshow?
Yes.
I suppose, am I not able to, or is that the same with the rest as well? So we were just able to
Okay.
see the participants list on the display, not the
Okay, well,
slideshow.
you seeing it now?
Not yet. Yes,
Yes, we can see it
perfect.
now.
Yeah, it's on slideshow. Go ahead, please.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. So the simple thing is event plus meaning equals response. Events don't really have life. It's the meaning that we give that gives it that emotion, that brings and adds the feeling towards everything that's happening. And that will determine the response that you have. A simple question is, there are so many events happening around us every single day. People are coming, saying things to us, going away. There would be, if you have certain targets, those targets, it's an event, right? I've achieved my target. I probably haven't achieved. I've exceeded. I probably win less than it. The way I see things with other people, there's always some event or the other taking place. Those events by themselves do not have any life. It's the meaning that you give to them. Oh, this is a fantastic event. And your response is, oh, you feel very excited, you feel happy. Or you look at it and say, this is terrible, it's useless. And then your response to that is going to be very low in terms of your energy level. So what we're saying is we cannot always choose the event. We can always choose the meaning. And if you want a positive response or an outcome, you must choose a positive meaning. And that's simple as that. Here's a small exercise for us. We look at the same event and see how we can give it a different meaning from what we usually would give. So for example, if you have traffic outside, usually it's, oh my God, it's so much of traffic. I'm stuck in a jam and it's so useless. It's an opportunity to slow down. That's just a way of reframing it, just giving it a different meaning. Criticism, somebody's speaking about me, not in a very good way. They're criticizing me for maybe my accent, maybe my educational qualification. They might be criticizing me for an idea that I gave, which did not really fly well. It's an opportunity to grow. Okay, let me learn. Thank you so much for that. Let me see what I can do to become better, to improve, to do something more. there may be a delay. So somebody, you're waiting for somebody, they're supposed to be there at 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock, they're not there as yet. And we're looking at this event. You cannot do anything about that person who is delayed. How many times is my mind then racing, looking at the time, palpitating inside, sweating and thinking, why is the person so late? When the person comes, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, this. I mean, there's so much that's going on in the head. Simple way, opportunity to pause. Okay, somebody's delayed. Let me just pause. Let me do something that will just help me to chill, relax. This can be me time. There's something I had to process. Let me process that now. Change. This is something I said, you can never step into the same river twice, because change is the only constant. Every time you have change happening around us. And the paradox of life is a large part of humans are not very happy with change. We prefer to stay in those comfort zones. However, this is how you look at change, opportunity to reinvent. We're seeing huge change is happening right now in the area of technology. And that's an opportunity for us to reinvent ourselves and see how we could also start doing things in a much faster and a better way than we ever thought was possible before. So events are the same, and to a large extent, they don't have life. But when you start giving them meaning, and if you enhance the meaning and give it an elevated or positive meaning, you will start seeing that you will do a lot more with the same event. And if you notice, these responses are not just things that make you think differently, but they're also going to make you do things differently. They're going to make you feel differently. And so they make you more productive, they make you more better, and then they make you feel great as well. So this is something that has helped us. And the simple examples of reframing, event plus meaning equal to response. Now, when I say this to you, it's very important for us to see one thing, that if I have to do that, then there's something very important. And for that, I'd like a volunteer to read this for us. Can somebody from, any of you can just unmute yourself and read this for me. First, let me know, is there any volunteer? I just want to put a paragraph here. I want you to read it. Is somebody ready to do that, please? If you can just unmute yourself and say, yes, I can do that.
I can.
Yes, who's that? Sorry, I'm not able to see the names. So somebody else from the audience I'm looking at. And as I said, I want to make this interactive, my dear friends, rather than being a one-way. So the only way I know that we are all together, there's people participating, we're doing something. It's not just a talk, but something that we can interact and see how we can get everybody to understand better. Anybody who likes to unmute and say, yes, I can, just read that paragraph for us. Is it a rule that we're not supposed to speak during these meetings? I mean, I might be, for the first time as a guest speaker, you could tell me that you're not allowed to
Mr.
speak.
Prakash, we have a person on chat. I think it's Varshana. So probably she would volunteer.
Varshana, okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Varshana, can you please read this for us?
It's no secret that
Good, continue.
the age-old practice of meditation on has gained mass appeal.
Okay,
Meditative
okay.
practice.
Varshana, thank you. Let me make it easier for you. Read it now, please.
It's no secret that the age-old practice of meditation has gained mass appeal. Meditative practices are no longer just for health gurus and yogis. They are now embraced by politicians, celebrities, athletes, and even those who don't make the cover of a US.
Beautiful. Thank you. Varshana, which one was easier, the first one or the second one?
The second.
And faster?
Sorry, sir.
Which was faster for you? Faster.
The second one.
The second one. Which was more accurate, where you knew that you will not make any mistakes? First or second?
The second one.
And what was the difference between the first and second? What was the difference between the first one and the second one?
The first one is too complicated to study since there is no space between the words.
Yeah, yes. It's the same text, Varshana. and for the rest. It's the same text, but the first one doesn't have any space. The second one has a space. So Varshina, my last question. In life, how do you think is life for us usually? Is it like this? Without any space in it, one bit after another, next, and then something else. I got to do this personal stuff, this professional stuff, or is it like this? It's nice and spaced out.
Maybe the first one.
Thanks for being honest, and thanks for your vulnerability. Thank you, Varshina. We give you a wave. Thank you so much for your courage to volunteer and to take us through this. Great.
Thank you.
Really, really glad you did that. Thank you. So yes, my dear friends, what we're trying to show is usually life for us is like this. From one to the next and the next to the next. And I'm sure, you had something very pressing before the session. You just will finish the session, and probably even before you finish the session, you just want to jump to the next session. That's how life has become. But guess what? Between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space lies our freedom and our power to choose our responses. And what Viktor Frankl continues to say is, in that freedom and that power to choose our responses lies our growth. It's in those spaces that our growth really is embedded. And if they're not even giving us an opportunity to pause through life, we're just going to go from one to the next. That's going to have a lot of issues. It's going to impact the mind very badly. What will happen is I don't have time to stop, to pause, to reflect, to decide well. And I'm constantly the mode of action, doing. By the way, we are human beings, not human doings, which means we're supposed to just be as well who we are, take that pauses, and enjoy the journey as we go through it. And that's exactly what we need to do. We probably set out our lives to do, but in the bargain, we become so busy that we forget to pause. So what is a pause? A pause is not stopping. A pause is creating space. That's a very important thing. For example, if you look at a space that we're creating inside our minds, it's like, when you have this body, you need to have the right amount of oxygen that you need to give to this mind. And you have to breathe in for that, you got to breathe out, and you have this oxygen for that. And so the space for the mind is the same thing. The pause that you give to the mind is like the space you give it, because that is what will help you to start thinking less. When you bring in certain spaces, you bring the pause inside your mind, you can think less. You think slow. And if you can think less and think slow, then one thing very important happens, and that is you think better. And in today's world, we need to start thinking better. So think less, think slow, think better. And I'm sure this is pretty much different from AI today. AI is thinking very fast. It's thinking so much. And it's thinking a lot. It's giving you so many things out there. But you got to think less, think slow. So you can even if you have to use AI properly, you have the right prompts when you think better. You really push it the way you want to push it, and you can extract the best from it. So you got to think less, think slow, and think better. That's your USP as a human being. But do not allow the tyranny of urgency to take away this beauty that is there for us to live a much better life, for us to do much better with ourselves and with others around us. Now, from reaction to conscious response, stimulus, there's a pause, then you can make a choice during that pause, and then there's a response. If you remove the pause, you don't have the choice, and there's stimulus and there's reaction. That's in fact how today's world is, stimulus, reaction. I see somebody doing it, I just do it myself. Half the world is just running behind other people. They have no idea why. Why are you running behind them? I know others are running, so I'm running as well. So that's stimulus and response. There's no pause, there's no choices we're making, and this is what is happening to life. So when I look at the pause, for the next few minutes, I'm going to just show you how this pause is going to support us and where can we use the pause. The first space, like we spoke about, event plus meaning equals response. Unless I pause after the event, I will not make meaning for it. I will only react to the response as I was habitually reacting. The boss shouts at me, I respond saying the boss is useless. I'm not going to work here again. This is a terrible space to work in. Event, response. Event, take a pause. How can I give it a meaning that's going to be useful to me, that really make me learn from here? Okay, so there must be something that I did, because the second time I'm getting a similar feedback. Why don't I ask somebody else? You're making meaning of it. You want to take some action. You ask somebody else and they say, yes, I think sometimes I see that trace in you as well. Wow, you changed now. So remember that you need to pause if you have to bring meaning to the event as well. And that will give you a good response. The second one, here's where you use the pause to focus. You have the circle of concern and the circle of control. And you've all seen this from Stephen Covey, who spoke about proactive people. What do proactive people do? They focus on the circle of control. What do reactive people do? They focus on the circle of concern. But unless we take a pause, I don't even know what I'm focused on. For example, right now, how many of you are thinking about the past and are not able to put a full stop to it? And maybe a large part of thinking, in fact, not how many of you, that's how it is. It seems in a day we have about 30,000 to 60,000 thoughts. 80 to 90% of them are wasteful thoughts, which means we're either thinking about the past or we're anxious about the future. That's where a lot of our thoughts get wasted. That is not in the circle of control. That is your circle of concern. You cannot do anything about the past. You're concerned about it. You wish it had gone better. You can do nothing about it right now. You can only learn from it. Circle of control is saying, okay, what can I learn from the past? That's your circle of control. The future is also not in my control. But what's in my control is, okay, if I want a better future, what should I plan? What should I change right now? What can I do here and now that will make sure I get a better future? So the future is your circle of concern. You must be concerned about it, but you can't control it. But if you're thinking too much, you're overthinking, you're anxious. So you need a pause here. You have to, from time to time, just take a pause and say, I sense a little bit of anxiety inside. What am I thinking about? Oh, I'm trying to control the future. I'm trying to hope that this person becomes like that. I'm trying to control another person's behavior. We do that classic mistake. We're trying to control another person's behavior. Now, be honest with me. Do you do that or not? You're trying. You got somebody to behave in a certain way, and if they don't, you feel terrible. Yes, you're concerned about their behavior, but that's your circle of concern. You have zero control over other people. In fact, the only person you have control over is your own self. And you see how difficult it is to control yourself. How many commitments have we made to ourselves? How many times we promised? How many resolutions have I made? And how much have I kept? So even to, apply those things which are within my circle of control is not so easy. Try and imagine I'm trying to control things that are outside my circle of control. And so that's where a huge amount of, mental wellness goes out of the window. And so circle of concern versus circle of control. So please pause to understand that if you're having a stressful moment, you're thinking too much and you're having a lot of anxiety, you are definitely not in your circle of control. You are focusing elsewhere. Focus on the circle of control and say, okay, fine, I want to see how I can have things better there. What should I do for that right now? And then you're in the circle of control. So peace leaves us when we focus our energy on everything we are concerned about and yet cannot control. And so we need to be more peaceful, yes, and we love to have it. Peace is not something that you have to leave everything, stop doing them, and then experience peace. Ask yourself a simple question. How can I remodel my day so that I can experience peace more often, so I can experience peace very naturally? So this is a very nice exercise. I just want you to be with me for this exercise. It's called SOS, detached, not disconnected. How do I do an SOS? First one, you can stand back without withdrawing. So whatever's happening around you, let's say you're doing something on your phone, you're sending an email, just stand back for a moment, stop, take a pause, observe without absorbing. Just observe what's happening in the mind right now. And you'll see that many apps are open. You're thinking about work, you're thinking about home, you're thinking about that person who did this, you think of that client, you think of that email, you think of that colleague. Too many apps are open. Too much of energy is being drained. So then simply what you do is you watch everything, you observe, but do not judge, do not absorb, do not say, why am I thinking of that? No, it's okay. Let those thoughts be there. But here's the key. Now I can steer in the required direction. Okay, all these thoughts are there. What's most important for me? Right now I'm sitting and actually listening to somebody. Can I just let everything else go off and let me listen to what Prakash is saying to me? Immediately there's massive focus. But for that you have to pause, right? So stand back, observe what's happening in the head there. You're taking a pause. This is what the pause is all about. You're watching what's happening there. You're not judging anything. But then you're saying, okay, well, what do I really need to do right now? What's most important for me? This one is, okay, so fine, let me focus here. And the moment you do that, everything else there's a huge relief you feel. It's like clearing your canvas and then resetting that button and starting afresh. Otherwise, constantly there's something or the other that's nagging at the back of your head and you don't realize where your energy is being drained out of. So just doing an SOS, that's like save the souls, right? It's stand back, observe, and steer. You kind of just remove all those unnecessary stuff and focus on what's important. So with that, I would request our dear friend, Ravi, to please take over.
Yes, thank you, Prakash. Okay, please, all of you, if we can make this, this is a small interaction. Let's make it interactive. Any one of you, you can see the image. If we can hear out some answers, I'm sure someone. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We can.
Yeah.
see.
Okay, great. So what do you see in that? If you carefully observe, what do you see in the image?
That's
top-
emojis of smileys.
Emotions,
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Great. So the first one, the top right, what's the emoji? A very joyful face, right?
Yeah.
And the second one, below that, it's a content face. The third one you see, it's a neutral face. And the fourth one is a sad face, a frown face. So if we see, there is a beautiful law in economics, which we had studied, which is law of diminishing marginal utility. What does the law say? That as a person keeps consuming more units of one commodity, his satisfaction level tends to diminish. Means when he eats the first slice, he is very joyful. And in the attempt to maintain that same joy, he then goes for the second one. But after the second consumption, he is a bit content. After the third consumption, he is neutral. And after the fourth consumption, he is sad. Now, basically, the consumption is essentially coming from the fact that you want to have that same level of satisfaction. You are chasing that same level of satisfaction, which brings us to the next slide. In the next slide, we see a circle of chasing. What are we chasing? So, people, possessions, pleasure, possession, and power. Basically, our happiness and peace of mind is dependent on all these things. So, if we understand it correctly, let's say people, so the relationships which we have, people who respect us, people who appreciate us, or people who agree with our opinion, we tend to be happy with them, their surrounding. But people who criticize or people who have put us down, they have belittled us, we don't tend to be the same. Our happiness index, our peace of mind doesn't tend to be the same. Similar is with possessions like material wealth. Many a times we tie up the image of, let's say, Ravi is tied up with a particular brand of car which he drives, or buying a bigger home. So we have our self-worth tied up with certain physical possessions. Now, we all know that physical possessions are actually tend to change. They will diminish over time, or they might not be with us for a long period of time. As soon as that is snatched away, our self-worth diminishes. Similar is the thing with pleasure, which is sensory enjoyment. So whenever you feel down, we may go out for a movie for 3 hours and we feel some temporary satisfaction, or we may even go out for a drive just so that our mind gets distracted and we go into a different world where we feel, oh yes, now I'm feeling happy. But as soon as we are back, as soon as we come home, or as soon as that 3 hours of movie is finished, we are again back to square one. Similar is the case with position. With position, we have a certain image created. We identify ourselves with the position that we have. Let's say if I work as finance manager, or if I play the role of a son, or if I belong to, let's say, a Brahmin culture, we feel that that is our identity. But actually, that's not our identity. It's just the role that I'm playing. It's the role of a finance professional or a son, or if I belong to a particular caste, they are all roles. And all those roles also change over time. They will not stay with us. Today, I may be working under someone, I may grow up, or I may even be put down to work below someone else, which I may not like. Then comes power, which is control. We all wish to have control over the outcomes, control over people, control over many results. And in the desire of controlling things, what we do, we think that everything should be controlled in my hands. We try to manipulate many variables around us. And in that same attempt, we forget the fact that total control is an illusion. So you see in this graph the decline of soul power through external dependency. So initially, we feel that there is some temporary thrill that we have, but as and when the same things we continue to consume, there is more attachment. And as the attachment grows, there is a growing dependency on that particular aspect, due to which there is internal emptiness. But we are still chasing the high, like as if I still want the same level of satisfaction which I got from the first slice of pizza. But actually, we are on a downward trend, which leads to a spiritual bankruptcy. So, what we are trying to show, how does this paradox gets revealed? So if we can just put on the last message in this is happiness is internal. It's an internal state of mind and it cannot be provided by external forces. Another good message is focus on who we are rather than what we consume to be happy and peaceful. We are trying to say that happiness is not dependent on something which is external. Rather, it is who am I. I am a happy soul. I am a peaceful soul. These are my innate qualities. It is just the fact that we need to awaken that feeling, those qualities. And meditation is something which helps us let us know who we actually are. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you for that, Ravi. So it's interesting that we need to focus on who we are rather than what we consume in order for us to be happy and peaceful. We definitely live in a society which today is full of consumerism, and everyone is out there trying to show us that if we have to be happy, we must be this. If we have to be, peaceful, we must live here. If we have to be, if we have to experience love, then we have to become like this. And so that, unfortunately, if it's bombarded from every single media in the world, then it's not very difficult for us to fall trapped to it and start believing that only when I start consuming and start attaching myself to all these do I actually be happy. Nevertheless, very nicely shared over here that it's all there within us. These things are just temporary. They cannot be, they're okay to have, but we just cannot get stuck with them as identities of our sources of our happiness and peace. What then is the source of our happiness and peace? So when I pause, I start understanding that I'm not my role. I'm not my circumstances. I am the observer, the creator of my thoughts. And when I'm creating my thoughts, this being that I am, who's creating all these thoughts, is innately peaceful, powerful, happy, pure, and loveful. Simple exercise. If I just ask you to think about a sanctuary, think about that place which usually gives you a lot of peace that you go to. It could be a sunset, it could be a sunrise, it could be a sea, it could be a seashore, it could be a beautiful mountainous area or some grassy green lands. Whatever it is, you would definitely have that sanctuary where you love to go and visit. And that's the place you feel so relaxed and calm. Now, if I ask you, just bring that image to your mind, just for 1 second, bring that image to your mind, make it vivid and clear. And feel what you feel, see what you see, hear what you hear. That same sanctuary. Bring that image to your mind. Just visualize it. See yourself there in that space, in that sanctuary. what you'll realize is that you experience that same state of peace and that love and that calmness and that sense of care right now. Now, here's what it is. You have not even gone to that place, but you still have had that experience whilst you're sitting over here in this particular place, which means that that state of calm, that peace, that joy, that power that you experience is not because of what was outside. It's always been there, but you allowed it to actually emerge when you went over there, which means that we've conditioned all of these. And that's, again, as I said, not our fault. That's how we have been bombarded with things. We started conditioning ourselves to all these innate qualities that we experience every moment. So all I need to do is take a pause, just observe what's happening inside, and then see how I can discover that, you know what, I'm not this role that I play. That's temporary. I'm not the things I consume, or the consuming things is not what makes me happy. But I innately am a peaceful and powerful being. That's another way of using the pause. So you use the pause to get meaning to things that are happening, meaning to events. You use the pause to focus on that which is very, very crucial in terms of what is it that is really in my control. And you use the pause to understand who I am really, and to be able to come into that real identity of yourself. That's when your self-esteem grows. That's when you feel truly peaceful inside and powerful. And this is what meditation does. Meditation is just shifting the direction of your thoughts. It's just shifting the direction. So earlier, I was thinking about everything outside and believed that those are the things that make me happy. But the things that make me happy are those ones which are within me. And it says, I am already that being, that powerful being. So now what do? Let's just take a moment, experience that, and then we are ready to go. What we need to do is 5 pauses for each everyday life. A morning pause is important because that's the time when your mind is absolutely fresh. It's a clean canvas. You can paint anything. So wake up in the morning, take a pause. Don't jump into activity and rush into, I got to do this, that. Wake up a little earlier and create thoughts that you would like to create for yourself. Create those qualities that you want to experience through the day. A good beginning is half done, they say. So a beautiful start. Wake up and see, how do I like to show up today? What would I like to experience? Today, I am peaceful, which means that I'm going to stay calm and still. But there will be storms around. I'll keep reminding myself that I am a very peaceful being. Before meetings, pause. Don't jump into meetings without pausing. That pause will give you such beautiful ideas and thoughts for that meeting. You'll be surprised. It'll kind of make those meetings even more humane if you pause before meetings. Have you been in meetings where things just become very, very, I would say, mechanical, very robotic? Well, remember, we're meeting with people, human beings. Google had this very interesting survey called Project Aristotle. It said it's important to have psychological safety and social sensitivity in meetings. That's what makes great teams great. So before meetings, take a pause. Emerge what you like to be peaceful. Say, I'm going to be happy during this meeting. Response, whenever you want to respond to anything, take a pause. You have an email, take a pause before you send that button. Read it once more and then send that across. Because of words spoken, you become the slave. Of unspoken words, you're the master. So take a pause before you say something or before you respond. Digital pause. Do you really want that message? Do you really want to take that phone up right now? Do you think it's important? Well, I'm doing something so critical. Do I really want to get distracted? Because there's a cost of distraction. They say it takes 21 minutes, according to the survey, 21 minutes to get back to the zone of, what do you call it? In the zone. When you're in the zone and you get distracted, it takes a lot of time. So take a digital pause. Do I really need to touch that? Is it so important for me? Do I really need to open my social media today? Night reflection pause. Very beautiful. They say your sleep is really going to be a lot about how you just have spent the last few moments before you go to sleep. What have you been thinking? What have you been watching? So why don't you start reflecting? Have something about gratitude. Have a journal. What are all the great things that I did today? What am I going to be grateful for today? What am I going to do tomorrow that's going to make my day better? Do that night reflection and then pause. So these are fabulous ways in which you can do them. Question for you. Where do I need a pause? I showed you a few areas. Ask yourself this question. This is critical for you because let's make the session very practical. Where do you need to pause? And what's the one thing that I need to do differently starting today? So that's who we are. We are in Khalid World. But before that, do we have any questions? Any questions, please? I'll open it to the moderator to probably get questions.
Sure, Sata. We'll now open the floor for a quick question answer session. If any participants would like to ask any questions, please type your questions in the chat box and we'll take them up one by one. Our first question is from Tom Simon, sir. What
Yeah.
are some simple exercises a student can use to control their stress during a hectic event?
Beautiful. Thank you. That's a beautiful one. Please remember that stress is basically, when I look at a definition of stress, for me, stress is a messenger, a little bit of a discomforting messenger that tells me I have to change something. So if the student is stressed during the event, the question is, what is it that's missing? Why am I stressed? What's really some things that I have to do? So stop, pause, understand that there is a stress there, therefore there's something that is trying to tell me. So what is missing? What do I have to do? Maybe I have to plan, maybe I have to be more orderly, maybe I need more resources, maybe I need some help. So pause to try and understand and then do that. It's no point just being stressing about it and thinking, oh, stress is a part of every event. I have to be stressed. I have to start moving. But not necessarily. You can be highly productive if you're less stressed. And in fact, you would be much more productive if you're less stressed because you have access to your prefrontal cortex. So they have to understand that stress should not be a norm. And many a times, I can also reflect back and see, why was this event so stressful? So that my next event, I can be much better. I did not plan this. I should have done this 5 days before. I did not do that. So that's another way of looking at stress. Look at stress as a messenger always, and start understanding the message, and then see what I need to alter, what I need to avoid, and what are some of the things that I just have to accept. Because many times I'm fighting things which should not be fought about. You just have to accept a few norms. Certain people are the way they are. You can't be stressed about them. Certain things will happen the way they would. There are certain policies, there are certain ways, there are certain restrictions. You may not be able to do anything about that. Learn to accept those. What you can alter, what you can avoid, but then some things have to be accepted. So if they learn to understand stress as a messenger, and if they work accordingly, they will be at a far better space.
Thank you, sir. Any specific simple breathing technique or something that we could add to avoid this kind of a situation? Say, for example, stress is also an alert that your body sends to you, right? Like if we want to take the pause, maybe we sit back, quickly take some meditative breathing, or take that 8 minutes or 5 minutes of something. How do you think that could help?
That will definitely help you. Deep breathing has been shown that the moment you do deep breathing, the signal you send to your brain is things are okay. I'm quite calm. And so then it starts allowing you to, release the PFC, which is hijacked by amygdala. Usually it starts releasing it, and you can think in a much better fashion. So those deep breathing, so breathe, taking a deep breath in, and belly breathing, letting your belly go out. And as you breathe out very gently, the belly goes in. And I think if you do that about 5 to 6 times, if you're really stressed, it's like a quick fix of your stress. That's one thing, and you can do that. However, that's not a solution to what's stressing you. There's something else that the stress is trying to tell you, and it's very important for us to tackle that head on. What's the message that stress is giving me? So that's where we have to also go.
Okay. Ms. Varshana has a quick question. How can I tell the difference between a healthy planning and anxiety-driven overthinking?
I think it's very important with your state of mind at that point in time, right? We are very good to know what's happening to my body. If you're in an anxious way, you are feeling obviously under pressure, there's no time, you're not even able to sit properly, you're not breathing well, you can sense a little bit of fear, there's frustration, and you're not at peace, you're not at ease. So I think it's very important to be at ease there, and that you know that I'm planning properly. My mind is at ease. And if it is not, then please put it at ease. Do an SOS. Just sit back. What are some of the things that's hitting me right now? Okay, I don't need all of them. I'm just here to plan for the future now. So let all my mind now be focused there. Close all the other apps and then focus in that space. And so when you're doing that, then you're much more easy, you're more relaxed. You're not thinking of 5 different things which will happen to you if things go wrong. You're not thinking of those consequences. You're in the present. You're in the moment and you're doing what you got to do.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Coming to the SOS part, also we have another question where when first trying to pause or use SOS, the mind normally floods with an even bigger wave of anxious thoughts from the circle of concern. And so when Shahnaz asked, what is your best advice for handling that initial noise without getting overwhelmed?
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Is that the last question?
We have one more question. That's it.
Okay, then I'll take Shahnaz's question at the end because let's try and demonstrate that rather than just speak about it. So
Sure.
let's hear the next question.
Kavin Madhivanan has asked, how can students use yoga to maintain a healthy balance between studies and their personal lives? This is one of the questions that even I had parked for, even when it comes to work and life balance for a lot of us who are working, professionals, or even people busy with different schedules. How can we use meditation to maintain a healthy balance between studies, work, and personal life?
Yeah, you see, there are 4 things that we require. Tan is body, man is mind, dhan is wealth, and jan is relationships. These 4 things are very important for us to have, I would say holistic life. So when you speak of well-being, it's all about being holistic. It's about integrating all these and making sure that everything is whole. I'm not just going out of balance. All right. So we need to have a physical body, which is very important, a proper physical body, which if you say physical yoga, you're doing asanas, you're doing breathing, that's very important for us to do because that helps me to have a more better physical body. Because if I don't have a physical body, then I might be able to have all those wonderful things, but I'm not energized. I'm not having the activeness that I need in order for me to do things. I'm going to be lethargic and lazy, and I can't even get myself to do anything. And I know I've had an experience when I've not been very well physically, nothing matters. I say, I want my health back. So if I'm not doing if I'm not healthy, I can't think right. I can't do things well. I can't study well. So I think that's important. At the same time, if my mind is not at ease, even if I have a physical health, which is good, if my mind is going to be so much caught up with negative thoughts and too much of waste, then I can't focus. I'm not in the present. I can't study as well. So those are important. So you have to take care of your mind and your body if you have to be a good student. The third one is wealth. Now, wealth is not just money, but wealth will include character. They say money lost, something's lost. Health lost, money lost, nothing's lost. Health lost, something's lost. But character lost, everything is lost. So your character, your values, all that is your wealth. So we've got to also start looking at, and your wisdom and spiritual stuff that we do right now, it's your wealth that's going to be supported throughout your life, not just now, but probably even beyond. Are we looking at that wealth as well? Or are we just lopsided to think only money? That's very short and that's a very narrow way of looking at it. And relationships. We also need to take our relationships. All of this, why? So that I'm full enough. I'm taking care of my mind and my body so that I'm dependent on myself. I'm not making somebody else become the source of my peace and the source of my happiness. I need to take care of that. So that when I come into relationships, I'm giving and sharing rather than wanting to take from them. Because let's face it, today, so many people are already depleted. And so if I go and expect something from somebody who's already depleted in energy, that's not going to come to me. So if I'm going to be taking care of myself, I have self-esteem, I'm humble enough, I'm full inside, I'm feeling peaceful. If I come in the relationship, I can give more of it. And the more I give of it, the more it grows. It doesn't reduce. So I think this is the 4 things that we have to take care of.
Got it, sir. Sanjay also has a quick question on how do we control ourselves by comparing us with others and feeling bad about ourselves. What activities can we adapt?
Sanjay, thank you so much for that. I've just come out from a very big training with Gallup, and Gallup's done a lot of these surveys. And Gallup says each of us are unique and we are uniquely wonderful. We don't need to compare ourselves with others. Compare yourself with your own self. Look at your strengths, see the wonderful things that you have, and see how you can expand on those things that you're good at. So first of all, have you done a self-discovery? Do you really know yourself? Because many times we're looking at others so much that I forget to see what is good in me. So pause again, pause. We go back to this beautiful thing, get pause, reflect, look at yourself and say, who am I? And if I say, I am powerful, I'm peaceful, I'm uniquely happy, and I'm wise, all these are within me. But right now, it may be just theory, but when you pause and you truly reflect and you meditate on these thoughts, you will say, yes, I do have all these because I've done this, I've demonstrated, I've experienced this in the past. So all you have to do now is grow that. See how you can be more peaceful. How can I be more happy with the things that are already existing in my life? And then, yes, it's good to see others and appreciate them from that perspective. Appreciate them, because they say one good thing about appreciation is what belongs to others starts belonging to you as well. Because you've appreciated them, it means that that is also there in you, which is why you've appreciated it. So first, appreciate yourself, see your strengths, focus on your strengths. Most of the time I'm looking at my weakness, I'm trying to fix my weakness. And how easy is that? It's very difficult. But if you look at your strengths, that's very easy to really grow because you're already good at something. So see what you're good at, focus there, let that really be great.
Thank you, sir. Coming back to a question which we've parked.
Yeah, I got that. We can go.
Which
So we're
Shaina
looking
had
at
asked.
SOS. Yeah. So
Mhm.
let's just do that together. Can we just do that together to see? So how is it that when your mind has so many things, what can we do? So I just want you to visualize, all right? Just sit back, visualize, and we can close with this also. Just visualize
Oh.
that you're standing in the center of a railway platform, all right? Just you have a railway platform and you have trains on either side of the platform. You're standing in the center or you're sitting there. And please take yourself there. Visualize that there are trains coming on one side of the platform, stopping for some time, passengers getting off, some getting on, and the train leaves. You can just watch the train because you're standing on the platform, you can do nothing to the train. And then there's another platform, you have another train coming, it stops, passengers get in, some get off, and that train leaves. So like that, you're standing there are several trains that come, stop, and they go. You are just observing, you're watching them. You're doing nothing to those trains. Now, I want you to imagine that that platform is the platform of your mind. And those trains are trains of thoughts that keep coming. It could be about everything under the sky. You have a thought coming, it could be work related. You're watching the thought, and just like the train, it comes, you don't do anything, you just watch it. A few moments later, it just goes. Another thought comes that has to do with something that's personal. Comes, you watch it. You don't do anything to it. In a few moments, it leaves. And the third thought comes, you watch it. That's it. It goes in a few moments. And so like that, slowly you start reducing the thoughts. And then you're saying to yourself, okay, what does that have to do right now? Right now, I need to smile. Right now, I need to be available for this particular person. Right now, I have to focus here. Okay, let me get on with this. So that's a very beautiful way to just stand back, observe without judgment, observe without getting stuck, observe without being absorbed, and then to steer. And so that's a beautiful skill that you will first learn from, like you did today. And as you do this, you'll start seeing how I can observe without getting stuck in that thought. Thank you.
Thank
And
you
I'd
so
like to
much, sir.
invite all of you to the Raj Yoga Center. We are at Khalid bin Walid, which is just opposite Burjuman. All our courses are free of cost, which is quite surprising in a place like Dubai. For those who are in UAE, if you're in India, we have, I'm sure, a lot of Raj Yoga centers around there, across, they're globally available. But we'll be very happy to see you there at the Raj Yoga Center.
Thank you so much, sir. A quick thank you to both you, Mr. Prakash and Mr. Ravi, for a very truly inspiring session on how to learn more about our inner self for us to be happy, peaceful, and not letting us understand how important our connection to our soul is. I think this session has also inspired us to begin and improve our well-being with the 5 pauses technique. I'm sure we can take these moments to breathe, pause, and experience our inner self starting today. Along with us in the call, we had students, we had people who are working, professionals who are also affiliated to the university, and also family members who are there. And we believe that we also understand how much an impact a pause can create and improvise our thoughts, actions, and add meaning to our environment, no matter how busy our minds are and how chaotic or loud our surroundings could be. A quick special thanks to our this moment, and also an important sincere thank you to our facilitators, of course, and a special thanks to Ms. Sushma for helping us in coordinating this session with Raj Yoga Center. Ms. Sushma, thank you so much for coordinating the session with both Mr. Prakash and Mr. Raviraj. And these perspectives on self-awareness and mindfulness is something that we need today for sure. We extend our deepest gratitude to Reverend Dr. Joe CC, Vice Chancellor, Reverend Dr. Viju PD, Pro Vice Chancellor, Reverend Father Varghese KJ, Chief Finance Officer, Reverend Father Josie George, Director, Alumni Chapter, Christ Deemed to be University, for their continued unwavering encouragement and support for our alumni chapters. We are especially grateful to Brigadier Jagdish, Director of Center of Placements, Career Guidance, and the Office of Alumni Engagement, and Professor Rishikesh KB for their guidance and leadership in making this session possible. A special word of appreciation to Ms. Ranju Matthew and Ms. Vanita Lalu, alumni coordinators, for their efforts and meticulous coordination ensuring the smooth conduct of this event. And finally, a heartfelt thanks to our alumni team members, faculty members, students, participants, extended alumni community of families for joining us this evening and making this session engaging and worthwhile. With that, we formally conclude this session. Thank you all once again for your participation. Have a wonderful evening. And we look forward to welcoming you to our future alumni engagements. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody. Such a pleasure to be with all of you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.